I've seen so many teachers burn out because they don't do this. Welcome back to Educator University. In this video, I'm going to discuss 3 professional boundaries that I have seen really help teachers avoid burnout. The first boundary comes around compensation. It's really important that as teachers, we are paid for any additional work beyond the 40 hours that we have been contracted to do. Sometimes in education, things are voluntold, and that's the word that I learned once I became an educator, which is like if someone volunteers you but tells you to do it. I don't like that term because you should be paid or you should decide to volunteer. And that's really a really important distinction. The second professional boundary comes along with expectations and really pushing back on expectations that are unrealistically put on teachers. At times, leadership will get an idea, but they come down and ask teachers to do the work for this idea, but don't always share how much time or compensation they're going to give for this new strategy. The truth is that teachers already have their systems, procedures, things in place, strategies in place they are already using. So to ask teachers to incorporate something new and change their curriculum and actually do it effectively requires time, compensation, and resources. Do they really want this initiative so much that they're willing to put thousands or however much money behind it and hours of staff time and resources? Are they really willing to do that? Or is it more just an idea somebody had? And I think that's the kind of the differentiation that we need to help sometimes guide our leaders towards is like, what is the level of commitment that you're willing to put forth before we put forth any more commitment? It's really important for teachers to speak out on this issue because it helps slow down administration from giving more and more unrealistic expectations. The last professional boundary is becoming the leader teacher that you are. You may not realize this, but teachers around you are watching. And more than that, when you put up a boundary, you actually help the teacher next to you and the teacher after you that this is the expectation that teachers have. It makes a statement to everyone, parents, students, administration, district, state, that we are professionals and deserve to be treated as such. One of the stories I will leave you with is kind of a sad but also realistic story that is an important reason why boundaries are really important. I have seen and heard of so many times when a teacher comes into a position and takes over more than the position calls for, way beyond. Because of this, the teacher will then burn out. Now that is sad, but what happens next is just as sad. Now a new teacher comes into that same position and the expectation from everyone is that this teacher do exactly what the last teacher did. And this new teacher can't do that, right? They're trying to make up for the shoes of the last person who couldn't do it because it was too much. And then they burn out too. And it's this vicious cycle until somebody says, hey, you are putting too much on this job or this position. This needs to be 2 jobs or this needs to be a job and a half, whatever it is. Unless someone comes in and says, hey, I have a boundary professionally that I work 40 hours a week and I do the job that I'm committed to doing very well, but I also deserve to be compensated for any extra work. Until someone comes in and says that cycle of teacher coming in and burning out over and over and over just continues and continues. Unfortunately, I've seen that. And that's why I wanted to film this video. A lot of my content is about how to build great classroom strategies and procedures, things like that. But I really believe more and more that being a good teacher is also being someone with great boundaries, because I've seen that those are the teachers that last, and that kind of retention helps you as a teacher and also helps your students and the community as a whole. If this video really resonated with you, then check out my next video where I share how to communicate those boundaries in a way that is professional and effective. I'll see you in the next video.